Hey, how's it going? YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. So today we're going to go over a pretty cool one that I think God recently had shown me. Is peeling back the Matthew chapter 7 verse 23, when God says, well, Jesus says, I never knew you. And so let's dive into this. I'm going to try to make this quicker, of course, but let's start this here. So first off, this is going to be a video about like the new you part. So what does he mean? So let's read the rest of the passage, 21 through 23. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of the Father that which is in heaven. Many will say, except for he that does the will of my Father in heaven, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name? And in that name cast out the devils, and in that name done wonderful works. And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye who work iniquity. So why is this about? Well, the passage before that is talking about beware of wolf in sheepskin, or the tree that brings forth evil fruit, a corrupt tree. And so it's really a watch out for that. So it's what are your the works of God are good fruit, right? It's the fruits of the Spirit, and the gifts He gives us are good fruit. And then there's evil fruit, right? It's too wicked, can't be eaten. The main thing I want you guys to focus on this one is this new you. How can we know? How can we know God? How can we know Jesus? How can we know Him? Right? A key passage of that is that He never knew you. So let's peel that back. So in Jeremiah 24:7, there's a this is pretty cool. 24:7, God says, and in those days I will give you a heart to know me. So let's click this open. 24:7, here actually relates to it. So he's talking about the fruits in 7, 15 and on. He says, and again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, thus said the Lord God of Israel, like these good figs, so acknowledge them and carry them to the captive of Judah, whom I have sent out to the place into the land of Chaldeans for their good. For I will set my eye upon them for good. Oops, that was weird. I will set on my eye upon them for good, and I will bring them to this land, and I will build them and not pull them down, and I will plant them and not pluck them up, and I will give them a heart to know me. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God, and they shall return unto me with their whole heart. And he says, the evil figs, which cannot be eaten, they are so evil, says the Lord, I will give to Zedekiah, the king of Judah, and his princes, and the residue of Jerusalem that remain in this land, and they would dwell in the land of Egypt. And I will deliver them to be removed from the kingdoms of the earth for their hurt. And to be a reproach and a proverb, a taunt and a curse. In all the places where I'll deliver them. And I'll send them a sword, the famine, and pestilence among them. They will be consumed off of the land, and I'll give them to their fathers. I'll give unto them and their fathers. I gave unto them and their fathers. So, it's kind of he's teaching, I'm not. Disclaimer, there you go. I had no idea that was passage related, actually. I was just looking at 7:23 in Matthew and Jeremiah 24:7. So, Jeremiah 24:7. So, let's go back. So, those relate, obviously, those two passages. 24:7, and I will give them a heart to know me. We can't get that heart ourselves, guys. He has to give it to us. So how do we get that heart? And so in Deuteronomy, to kind of back this stuff up, Deuteronomy 4:29, he says, let's go to this 4:29. But if from thence they shall seek me, the Lord their God, they're going to find him, if they seek him with all their heart and all their soul. So, and so you have to seek him with your broken heart, honestly, and all your soul. You have to want to change. Why? Because he will change you. He'll give you that heart. That new heart will change you. A heart to know him. You didn't know him before. Understand that. And so again, how do we get a heart to know him? in Jeremiah 24, the 7, we have to seek him with all of our heart and all of our soul. And so that's what he says. Seek him with all thy heart and all thy soul. And then 24, if we move on to 36, he says, he talks about often about circumcising your heart. You got to circumcise your heart. I used to say, I'd like to see you try. And there's a lot of truth to that. We can't do that, right? How do I circumcise my heart, God? And he says that, so he's talking about for their good. And so the Lord thy God will circumcise the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, that thou mayst live. We can't even love him with all of our hearts and all of our soul until this happens. Why? Because you have a heart of stone. You don't know it, though. You don't have a heart of flesh, with his law, Torah, written on it, as he says. In order to get this heart, we have to seek him. And then he does it for us. We can't do that ourselves, obviously, as he's saying here. I know we like to do it all on our own, but you have to humble yourself. You can't do it. And you can't do it. Let's be honest here. We need to be honest with ourselves. We know we can't do it. So that's why we need him. He has to do it for us. So let's move on to Chronicles 1:22-19. Now, a good reminder here is that remember, Paul actually says that don't you know that you are the kingdom of God? We are the temple of God. Sorry. And so in Kings 1 Chronicle 22:19, now set your heart and your soul to seek the Lord your God. Arise therefore and build ye the sanctuary of the Lord your God, to bring an ark of the covenant of the Lord and the holy vessels of God into the house that is to be built into the name of the Lord. You don't own yourself anymore when you come to him. When you come to Jesus Christ, who do you identify with? I identify with Jesus, right? That's what happens. And so it's you're a temple, and then the art, it's now a sanctuary within us, and the Ark of the Covenant's within us now, right? Because we are don't you know, you are the temple, as Paul says. And so that's just to add more weight to this. But then, we can't do this, obviously. How do I do this? You can't. You got to seek him. And then he does it for you. That's, we're, and that's why he says that, Jesus said that he wants us, that life eternal is knowing God. And so, and so when he's doing the prayer to the Father, by himself in John 17, he says, and this is life eternal, that you may know the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom thou hast sent. We can't know him. He has to do it for us. We can't even do that. We can't do nothing on our own by ourselves, as Jesus says in 15:5. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth much fruit. For without me you can do nothing. See how God tied that all together? Matthew 7:23. He's talking about the good fruit and the evil fruit, and then we jump to 23, and he says, "And I never knew you." Right, the fruit. And I went to Jeremiah 24:7, but he's talking about the fruit, the good fruit and the good figs and the evil figs, and 24:3 all the way to 7, Jeremiah 24:3 all the way to 7. God, he's teaching, guys. I'm just a student, just taking notes and being used. And you just witnessed this. I had no idea all this stuff related. Go figure. There's no coincidences. So again, how do we, we need a heart to know him. You don't get to know God. He has to do it for you. He allows you to know him. So seek him with all your heart, all your soul. Come to Jesus Christ. He's the only one who can do it for you. Guys, I'm glad I'm able to make this video a little bit shorter for you. I'm trying to be more focused. So it's under 10 minutes here. So, hey, if this helped you, please like, comment, share, subscribe, follow. I know we're in a bleak world, but if this helped you at some point for anything at all, please share this to someone else. Please like it. Follow me along this journey as he uses me. Again, I'm not teaching. I couldn't even read the Bible before. I couldn't 3 years ago, and I begged him to teach me. And now I can't, where I was, blind and I couldn't read, and I was, I had a spirit of deep sleep, as in Isaiah 29, 8 through 13. Now I can't stop. I can't stop. It's true food to me. It's meat. Follow along in this journey. But again, how do we have a heart to know him? He has to do it for us. You have to seek him, and then he does it. You have to just humble yourself. Come to him. God, I want this heart. Give me this heart. Show me the way. Teach me. And he will. He will. But all right, guys, stay tuned for more videos. I'm trying every week. I truly am. So I'm doing it. I hope you have a great day, a good night, good evening, whenever you see this, and stay tuned for more. See you guys.